The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Straight ahead tonight, he was a key figure on the roster of the ILTV lineup, someone that entered your homes and won your hearts. Tonight, the ILTV family remembers Rodney Moncur.
Thunder and lightning!
I understand my people, the Negro people. I understand them, so I know how to speak to my people.
March like you've never marched again.
As leader of the people them and leader of the woman them, I lead the revolution. Revolution is life.
To the people around the world, to my Negro people, I wish you peace, love, and progress.
A popular radio personality and a man who brought light, humor, and a different flavor to the media. Also tonight, Bay Street on fire again last night. The fire destroyed an entire block, and tonight we ask the question, could it have been avoided? And later, Felipe McLean, the CEO of the Rosewood Exuma project, joins me from Staniel Key to talk about a community meeting yesterday. We also hear from some business owners who were at that meeting. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, former senator and radio host Rodney Moncur has passed away. Moncur passed away early this morning. In recent weeks, Moncur had been recovering after a surgical procedure. His devoted fans anticipated his return to the air and looked forward to his sometimes stinging and often humorous opinions shared on his daily show, Freedom March. We're going to remember him tonight. Joining me this evening is Rodney Moncur's sidekick on Freedom March, his spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, and also Eyewitness News Director, Janea Noel. Good evening to both of you and welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Thank you so much. Good to be here. Thank you, Shanique.
I know it's a very tough time. Janea, you've been up since midnight into this morning. Spiritual advisor, you've tried to pull it together since this morning. Spiritual advisor, let's start with you. Let's talk about Rodney Moncur as the person that you sat beside daily. I mean, 5 days a week, five afternoons a week. How are you coping? How are you feeling? And obviously, tell us about maybe just some humorous observation. We saw him back there just a moment ago on the screen, being the person who came to endear himself to the Bahamian people.
Well, Shanique, to be honest, it's been a real difficult day from about 12:30 last night up to now. And the reality is, if there was no Rodney Moncur, then there'll be no spiritual advisor. And so understanding the relationship over the last 15 years is rather important. And so me and Rodney initially met at a breakfast club. And of course that relationship spiraled into a combination that became well known to the country, and not only here to the country, but other parts of the world as well. Rodney is a very, very unique character indeed, I must say. A lot of folks misunderstand him. When Rodney looked at my character in the Breakfast Club, Rodney decided that the debates that we had in the Breakfast Club, whether it was politics or religion, I didn't know, it was unbeknown to me. But he said that if he ever had a talk show, that I would be the guy who would be a spiritual advisor. Mm-hmm. And so it turned out to be that way. He's been a very, very important key figure in my life. I appreciate all the things he's done for me. Giving me an opportunity to be on the stage with him is unbelievable.
Unselfishly, huh?
Yeah. And
was there ever any spiritual advice given?
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, some folks thought he didn't take it, but of course we would privately sit down and talk about things that we discussed on air, the spiritual matters, and he would take those things very seriously.
Janaya, what people might not know is that while Rodney appeared like he sat there and spontaneously just pulled the show together on air, he gave a lot of thought. And this is where I met Rodney. I met this relationship going on. Rodney knew the newsroom like the rest of us know it. Rodney would come in there, sit with you, sit with reporters, talk, do his research. That was the Rodney that the newsroom, besides the funny man and all the jesting and sometimes forgetting his keys or not knowing where this and that is in the newsroom, this was the Rodney, though, that we know, the one who meticulously took his time to plan before he went on air.
Shanique, it was a knock at the door every day at about 3 o'clock, between the hours of 3 and 3:30. You would hear that, and someone would race and answer the door, and he would hold up his hand and demand that we address him. And that was Rodney every day. And his favorite line was, anyone he dead, any rape, any robbery, what's going on in the news? And he demanded that someone take the time and brief him, whether that be the crime report, whether that be a breaking news story. Rodney commanded the room. He demanded our attention. It's 3 o'clock in the day in a busy news cycle day, Shanique, and he's demanding that, hey, I don't care what you have going on. I need you to give me your full attention. And many times we say, Mr. Moncur, we busy. We don't have no time to talk to you right now. And he would say, hey, hold on. Wait a minute, I'm old. I'm an old man.
He always said that.
So please bear with me. And I stopped and I reflected on how I would want someone to treat my grandparents or someone, much older. And I gave him that grace. We accommodated him. I made sure that he got the information he needed. And sometimes it wasn't just information. Rodney would come there with a whole legal file and say, I need you to type this for me. I said, Rodney, it's 3 o'clock in the day. News in a couple hours. We have breaking news coming in. But he did not care what was going on. He demanded that attention. And we all in the newsroom gave him that respect. Rodney is also responsible for many times some of the breaking stories we've had. He would come in there or he would call me early in the morning and he'd say, you won't get that news yet? You need to hurry up, put that up. I said, okay, boss, right away. What is it? And he would say, no, I calling you to confirm. That's your job because his favorite line was, I only play journalism. That was his favorite line. He said, I play journalism, but I leave that, to you to dissect and get the information. So sometimes me and him would be on the phone early in the morning, going over some news stories, or he would get a tip and he would call me, or I would get a news tip and I would call him and we would work like that under the former commissioner of police. Sometimes he was the only one who could have gotten in touch with the former commissioner. So he would call and confirm certain information for us. And it was just a bond of friendship, a really close relationship that he had with all of us in the newsroom. And today it is truly heartbreaking for us. Some of the reporters, they went out last night to see Rodney at the hospital after we learned of his passing, and to see him lying there, lifeless, all of the life and vigor. It's such a heartbreaking moment for all of us here at Eyewitness News because he was such an integral part of our Eyewitness News family.
He absolutely was. And like I said, it's a relationship I walked in on nearly 4 years ago. And it was something spiritual advisor, I respected it. And I just fell in line, meaning, of course, that's when I started. And I met Rodney doing exactly as Janaea said. I even debated him many times in terms of discussing what it is, to hear his thoughts before I would discuss something, or he would ask me, well, what is this? It was that kind of relationship, and I respected how he respected the newsroom, and including you all, Janaea. He highly respected. He just didn't come in and demand it. He also respected the newsroom. He respected you, Janaea, your leadership. And that is what Rodney did. I'll tell you, I first became aware of Rodney on Bay Street in Junkanoo. One of those, I don't even know what you call it, fun group. The fun group, right? Advocating for hanging,
Yes,
pulling this kind of trolley behind
He
him.
was the Scream monster costume.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
the Grim Reaper.
Yes, and the headlines are tacked onto the trolley that he was carrying of any headlines to do with crime, because he was an advocate for hanging. I want to ask each of you, what will be your fondest memory that you will hold on to in the days, the weeks, the months, the years ahead?
Well, my fondest memory of Rodney would be his heart for those who, were not treated right in society. Rodney had a heart for the downtrodden and the less fortunate, and that's going to be one of the most fondest memories I would hold of him. Understand his heart and his passion for people who didn't have what other people would have, and I would always remember that.
For me, Shanique, it's never to take too much out of a situation, despite all of the ills that was happening around us, despite all of the tragedy that he advocated for. At the end of the day, Moncur would take it all in stride. He would be that voice for the voiceless, but at the end of the day, he can have a good time. He can break out in a song or dance, or he can put on his sombrero. He can play on his guitar, and he tell you, sing with me. I mean, last year he sang me a happy birthday song, and he always ended, anytime we ended a conversation, he said, you must submit to the man them. I have you in charge of the woman them. I need you to submit. So, Rodney, I submit.
She's finally submitted, Rodney, finally. I thank you both for being here. Today, ILTV CEO Gershon Major extended deepest condolences to Mr. Moncur's wife, his children, and extended family. Major said that Moncur was more than a colleague here. He was a devoted husband, a loving father, a trusted friend, and a proud voice for the voiceless. Major continued that as host of the Freedom March show, Rodney became a bold advocate for the poor, for women, and for children. Major said here at the Verizon Media Group, Rodney Moncur's life ought not just be remembered, but certainly celebrated. May he rest in peace.
Security Depot makes shopping in the Bahamas easy. Shop the latest appliances, electronics, furniture, gadgets, toys, and so much more on our website, securitydepot242.com. See an item you like? Simply click on it, move to cart, and check out with the option of in-store pickup or home delivery. Endless possibilities are at securitydepot242.com.
Nassau, are you ready? It's the return of Major Hype, and he wants to know.
You said you want problem with me today. Okay, no problem. If you want problem with me, that's okay. I'm just going to.
Paragon Nights presents
King of Caribbean Comedy.
Saturday, May 3rd at the Bahamar Ballroom, hosted by the hilarious Sawyer Boys. Tickets available now at Stiletto's Shoe Loft and online for platinum table reservations. WhatsApp 803-2659.
Nassau, make sure y'all pull up.
The Major Hype Comedy Show live.
It's gonna be crazy, crazy.
Sizzling summer savings start early at Grand Bahama Tiles with a 25% off store-wide sale. This Friday, May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd, catch the savings and upgrade your home decor early with sizzling summer deals. And don't miss our 35%, 40%, and 60% off summer clearance corner. It's a hot, sizzling summer store-wide sale at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920. Some restrictions apply.
Celebrate the incredible women in your life this Mother's Day, and don't forget the special offer from Cornet Bahamas. From April 16th to May 16th, enjoy a fantastic 35% off store-wide. That's right, everything you need to show your love and appreciation is on sale. Whether it's a heartfelt gift for mom, a treat for yourself, or something special for that amazing woman in your life, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit any one of our stores today. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable with Cornet Bahamas.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains, or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Of course, you all saw the top segment where we had the spiritual advisor of Rodney Moncur and Eyewitness News Director Janaea Noel reflect on the memory of Rodney Moncur, sharing some fond memories and highlights of the past few years. We're going to pick up right there in this segment with the Hot Topics panelists, where we're going to allow them, Rodney was somebody who was his own person in his own media, to tell you the truth, and hosting that show, it was, humorous and a whole lot of other things. And so many people watched Rodney just for relief many times, and of course to be informed as well, and also to hear his take on many of the issues. And these two individuals did as well. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, our contributors, Leslie Miller and Garth Rosborough. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you. It's good to have you both here.
Good evening, Sinead. Good evening, Bahamas.
Thank you for welcoming me back again for another episode of Beyond the Headlines. Good to be here.
It's good to have you as well, Garth. Gentlemen, I know everyone was just stunned to receive the information. I'm not going to repeat what I said in the first segment, but I just want to give you an opportunity, because I know we all spoke earlier today, and you all had quite a mouthful to say, and just your thoughts on Rodney and what his legacy is likely to be.
The first time I met Rodney Moncur was at a radio station on Carmichael Road, and a now sitting senator was also present. We were on the same show, and Rodney Moncur had very harsh words to tell him, and I'm like, who does this? What type of a man does this? And I immediately just recognized that this man has very strong character. He's not afraid to be shunned. He's not afraid to be welcomed. He is who he is. He has been his own man, a statue of strength in our country. And I just simply have to say that, if anything else, we admire him for the strong man that he was. We've had many before him. We pray that his spirit continues to live on in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, that we'll be encouraged, other men, to be strong like he was and speak actually what's on your heart and have no fear of the consequences.
The Bahamas has lost a good Bahamian last night, Rodney Moncur. First I want to express my deepest sympathy to his precious wife and the other family members. I first met the young man as a teacher back in 1971 at C.C. Sweeting. I used to teach him in commerce along with other students. And I've seen him mature through the years, and I've become a prolific conveyor of assisting the down and out. There's not a cause in this country that was powerful that he was not a part of. With the hanging.
That's where you started,
with
the hanging, yeah.
Helping the women, the less fortunate. In fact, he was known as the man who leaded the women there. Mm-hmm. And they're going to miss him sorely on his untimely passing. He has been sick for some time, I understand, and had hard problems for quite a while. And Dr. Dwayne Sands indicated that, in his opinion, he simply couldn't take any more, and he decided to go home with his Lord and his Maker. When I think of Rodney, I think of a saying. It says that the wise man does not expect to find life worth living. He makes it that way. Mm. And the turbulence that went through his life as a young man, and he came out ahead of the game.
Yes.
He's done a wonderful job on behalf of the Bahamian people, especially the women, and I said again, those who couldn't speak for themselves, Rodney spoke for them. And I trust that God would give him peace and serenity in his home going. I'm sure he's going to be missed daily. But when you reflect on it, he's there now with Darrell Miller, another great Bahamian who did so much for the average Bahamian and brought so much laughter to our life, He's going to be missed, really, really missed. And I trust that his family would bear the pain and sorrow all of us is going through right now. I just want to thank God for giving him to us, for the time that he gave him to us.
May his soul rest in peace. Gentlemen, last evening also, the night just started with an unbelievable set of news, an alert from the Royal Bahamas Police Force media that there was a fire on Bay Street, a structural fire, and so you hoped with everything in you that this was something that could have been immediately contained and sort of extinguished the blaze, and that was it. But it turned out quite differently. Here's Laurencia Smith, and then we'll come back and discuss.
A late-night fire tore through sections of Bay Street, reducing a building to its shell and impacting several businesses along both Bay Street and Elizabeth Avenue. Emergency crew working well into Friday morning, but the blaze caused significant damage before it was brought under control. Also getting caught in the crossfire, Victoria Court, that was a home to 29 families. A longtime tenant who wished to remain off camera says that her home was the first to catch fire, and she recalled how she repeatedly called for assistance.
I called the police, and I was saying, you need more support, you need more fire engines, and the response was, sorry ma'am, we know what is going through. We are doing the best that we can.
Hours after the blaze broke out, fire services were still on scene, using bucket trucks to douse lingering hotspots. Small pockets of fire continued to burn, with the flames tearing through from the top floor to the second, leaving the building severely damaged. While another displaced resident, who also wished to remain off camera, called Victoria Court home for just 6 months, also expressed frustration, saying that the fire could have been prevented.
This building didn't have to burn, and the building on the corner of Elizabeth Avenue didn't have to burn because the fire jumped all the way across an empty lot to that building.
Eyewitness News was the first on the scene just after 9 p.m. Thursday night as massive orange flames lit up the night sky. Fire crews worked frantically to contain the blaze, which spread rapidly with every shift of the wind. At one point during the night, the airport was temporarily shut down to aid emergency response effort. Authorities describing the operation as a coordinated multi-agency response. Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles on the ground with fire crews late into the night, refuting claims that there were issues with resources.
No, not to my knowledge. Water was not a challenge. We had water in our trucks, all 6 trucks that responded to this. Along with the Defense Force, and we were pumping from the sea. So we did not have a challenge with water. We still don't have a challenge with water.
Now, traffic diversion has been one of the major impacts from this blaze. However, according to Director General within the Ministry of Tourism, Latia Duncombe, it has no impact on tourists, as many still have an opportunity to explore what all of Nassau has to offer.
40,000 cruise ship passengers on a busy day that would traverse Nassau, downtown, and the surrounding areas. Those visitors can still come and enjoy the destination.
Now, fire services are continuing to work around the clock to manage the aftermath of this blaze, and they noted that investigations are underway. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, gentlemen, this brings back memories of the straw market fire in 2001. So many things to talk about in terms of the response to this fire. It is believed the fire started in an abandoned building. We will talk about that. But your thoughts on just getting that information that there was a structural fire on Bay Street. What was the initial thought?
I was appalled. I recall when I was in high school, the bustling area of Bay Street. I remember like Stop and Shop and other stores going down there. They had to actually run us off of Bay Street when we were high schoolers because everyone headed downtown after school. It was just a magnificent place to be. I do recall when the straw market fire did take place, and my God, we were saying, hey, they couldn't find water, and the main people, we're adjusting people. We say, well, all the water right in the ocean, use the ocean water.
We did say that.
For some time, I have been a proponent of the derelict buildings on Bay Street to be demolished, that the owners should be found, they should either be fined or they should be encouraged to restore those buildings or simply just destroy the buildings and to just revamp the entire Bay Street strip. To now know that it's possible that a derelict building may actually be associated with this particular fire and may have actually started there, to me, it's simply horrifying. Who owns this abandoned building? Have they been encouraged to tear this building down, or did they stand against their building being torn down? Because this building now may just have been the actual culprit in the other building that was occupied by individuals to actually be destroyed by fire. Shanique, I'll tell you what caught my attention. I saw a report of a lady there. She was not Bahamian by way of her accent or her appearance to me. And she was saying, somebody call the Prime Minister, call the Deputy Prime Minister, somebody who has close contact with these people, to call the Prime Minister. And I said, wait a minute, even the foreigner knows when you want to get something done in this country, some of his influence needs to call the one who has total control, which is the Prime Minister or Deputy Prime Minister. And so it's sad to see that this fire has taken place. We've heard earlier that there's a possible fire in the Faith Gardens area, and no fire truck has been on scene for over an hour. And so it seemed at this particular time, Shanique Miller, that, you know what, the Bahamas is on fire, we are short on equipment, and something has to be done quickly to address this ongoing issue. There was also another fire that I actually witnessed close to.
Well, let's stay on this fire for a moment and talk about all the other fires earlier
There's
today.
fire everywhere,
Because this fire, you mentioned several things. You mentioned the derelict building, the abandoned building where the fire is believed to have started, and the fact that, Leslie, this just started right there, and it perhaps could have been contained, but it was allowed to spread, and I think it burnt people out of their homes, and they have lost everything.
You know, Rodney Road from the Ministry of Tourism was responsible primarily for clearing Bay Street and getting that area cleaned up once and for all. I know he took down a building owned by Louis Stokes, which was the latest building that was put on Bay Street. That was the first one torn down. But it appears to me that persons have these derelict buildings has been there now for over 50 years, eh? As a little boy, I remember the Stop and Shop, all the big shops, KS, Moses, and the rest. Every Christmas we used to walk with them, buy our shoes, buy our skates.
Beautiful place.
And what have you. It's a pity that sufficient pressure wasn't put on them by the Ministry of Works and by the Ministry of Town Planning and Tourism, really.
Well, Randy Roll, Leslie,
and
as
Randy
you
was
mentioned,
transferred.
Randy was doing
unceremoniously transferred someplace else.
Leslie, Randy was doing an incredible job. He was. I don't understand why he was reassigned or why the work didn't continue if he was reassigned. Because I remember interviewing him here several times. He was meeting with those business owners who themselves should be held responsible for just having an eyesore on Bay Street. But he was meeting with them, working with them, getting their cooperation to get the buildings either demolished or somehow address them just being there as just open spaces and an invitation for any illicit activity to happen. And who knows how this happened? Who knows how it started?
He was very impressive.
Yeah, he is now the executive chairman of Consumer Affairs in the Ministry of Trade and Industry, or Ministry of Mike Hamalkida's ministry, doing a wonderful job there, protecting again the citizens of our country.
Well, meantime, the work that he was doing at tourism has just been left right there, paused, and nothing has happened since. So who's to bear responsibility? Now let's just move further along. It's also been said that the fire could have been prevented, but the spread of the fire rather could have been prevented.
Now, fire engines again?
We have fire engines. I'll tell you, I got, and this is from a reliable source. I'm just going to read it in just partially. I got this information from somebody who is well placed, as I said, a source. I have to speak while this is fresh in my mind and heart. The Bahamas has to do better. Last night, I watched my home at Victoria Gardens I watched my home at Victoria Court be completely destroyed by fire. What hurts even more is knowing it could have been handled better. We had one fire truck on the scene, trying to fight a massive blaze with little to no water.
Four-story building.
The fire started around 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening in an abandoned building next door and quickly spread to the west wing of our building. It reached my apartment on the east wing by 1:45 a.m. It was fully engulfed. Hopeful that the fire could have been contained in a more vigorous manner. It wasn't. We watched our neighbor's apartment engulf first, followed by ours. We had to wait almost an hour and a half for the airport fire truck, so that's just one more fire truck, to come and assist us. And even that could only spare about 45 seconds to a minute of water before needing to refill again. We then waited nearly 40 minutes before it could return. So how many trucks
what
are
is the
on
problem
the
with
island.
the fire trucks?
Wait, we waited 45 minutes before it could return before it could return with more water. Imagine that. Imagine the hopeless faces of Victoria Court residents. We stood there empty, watching everything we owned be reduced to smoke and ashes. Yes, I understand the fire was described as monstrous and hard to contain, but it truly felt like all the focus and effort went on protecting Bay Street while our homes, our lives, our memories were left to burn. I'm devastated. I am disappointed. And I'm calling for change. Our communities deserve better emergency response. We need accountability, preparation, and real protection, not excuses. We need help.
And you know, that structure was such a beautiful structure. I think it was erected by an Englishman about 60, 70 years ago. And you know, you can pass the building and not even notice it's there, you know? That's what's so amazing with the building over the last 50 years. I've noticed the building next door. That's where Kenny used to be.
Leslie, I have to read this again. These messages came in this morning. Good morning, Shanique. I hope this message finds you well. I write with a heavy heart and out of growing frustration shared by many. There is a deepening sense of disappointment in the government's failure to adequately resource critical departments such as the fire services. This issue was tragically underscored by the fire that occurred last night on Bay Street. The officers of the fire services of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, assisted by their colleagues from the airport fire department, fought relentlessly to control the blaze and prevent it from spreading to nearby structures. Despite their courageous efforts, Victoria Court, home to several residents, was completely destroyed. People lost everything.
Structure?
People lost everything. Witnessing that devastation moved me to tears, Shanique. But this tragedy is not an isolated event. For years, the fire services has been placed on the back burner, underfunded, overlooked, and forced to operate under increasingly dire conditions. The leadership of the department has repeatedly submitted formal requests for basic equipment, including fire trucks and an SCBA tank, refilling machine, which even a proper fire shed. Yet, these appeals have gone unanswered. It has been more than 2.5 years since the old fire shed at the police headquarters was demolished. Officers were promised a new shed, updated equipment, new dormitories, and a modern fire control room. But to date, nothing has materialized.
What appears to be the problem? I mean, why can't they get it right? You're having structures. I mean, these are magnificent structures that cost millions of dollars that was placed in this country. People's lives are now shattered, have to find a place to live, to replace the clothing and everything else. But worse than that, the memories that I've lost my home on gross negligence, really. You know, you have to tell it the way it is. It's gross negligence. Why is it that an island as small as the size of Nassau, 21/7, don't have adequate equipment to out a fire? For Christ's sake, man, what if Bahama or Paradise Island
I think they will
was to have a fire?
We
What would
see
happen
fire
then?
engines
What
in
would
the
happen?
air
What would
because they
happen
will
then?
fly them in immediately.
Huh? What would happen then? What would
you
all do?
Which you have to look at, which you have to look at, Mr. Miller. I almost called you.
Christ's sake, man.
I almost called you M&M, you know, Miller and Miller tonight.
Yeah.
But what you have to recognize is that where that fire took place is just a few hundred feet away from your Princess Margaret Hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Now you have patients in there who are immobile.
Yes.
It's an enclosed building. It has air conditioning services to it.
Yes.
There's been reports of mold and other things. If that catches on fire, spores can spread.
Mm-hmm.
That particular area is what I'm saying to you is very close also to the national headquarters for the police force as well.
Very sensitive.
They are within like less than 5 minutes drive away from this particular site. And so right now we have to look at our entire model as a country, what is going to be important to the Bahamian people. I do like how Beyond the Headlines continues to keep the public informed, but I'm also hoping that those who are officials and in authority would also be listening at this particular cry. We did not cry just once or twice. I think Shanique Miller and her team has been crying numerous times. And listen, man, you have a problem in Grand Bahama, you had a problem in Abaco, you had a problem in Andros, you have a problem in Berry Islands, you got a problem in Eleuthera, you got a problem in Nassau. We, the Bahamian people, saying we have these issues. Are you prepared to take care of these issues, or will it just be rhetoric as usual?
But the big question is, how long is it going to take you to get it right? For Christ's sake, how long is it going to take? for people's lives to be lost? That's what you're looking for? Go and get the damn equipment that's necessary to get the job done, man.
Now,
Cut back on whatever you have to cut back on, but save people's lives and save their property.
But how much does a fire engine cost, Shanique Miller and
perhaps
Leslie Miller?
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
$150,000, $200,000.
How much does the Prime Minister car cost, Mr. Miller?
Maybe around that or more. What I'm saying
just
is,
asking.
what I'm saying is, I had on the show the Assistant Commissioner of Police. His name escapes me, in charge of fire services.
I remember he was
yeah, just recently with what fire was that he came onto the dock on fire of the Ministry of Labor and all that big building there.
Yes.
That happened just a few weeks ago. Yeah. And he said they need immediate attention.
But they have these trucks that can only hold 10,000 gallons of water in some cases.
Where were they from? China?
10,000. They're not from China. No. China can do it right.
Where are they from? Because it got to be
I guess you got to go to Miami, really.
It's just a matter of priorities. I think the main people are going to be skeptical, Ms. Shanique Miller, because why? Just about every election, we see a new cycle of vehicles in this country. We see the police cars and the other cars for customs, etc. There's always a brand new fleet. The cabinet ministers are getting a new fleet, etc. And so all these fleets are being renewed. Where's the renewal for these services that
renewal and maintenance?
Yeah, for our fire trucks and for other such equipment to protect, and I use the word protect, the citizenry of the Bahamas and their possessions. The threat of life is also very important in situations like this. And some fire brigades should be present, even if it's just simply to save the lives of those in those buildings.
The United States government last year, if you remember, gave the Bahamas government and police force a lot of vehicles, trucks and everything else. Why did they not arrest at least 2 or 3 fire engines at the same time?
It wasn't deemed important at that particular time.
What do you mean it wasn't deemed important?
They never thought about it. Either it's going to take vision moving forward to say we need these things, or it's going to just simply take a reactionary measure to say, you know what, we now need to request these based on past situations.
We've had a long time ago.
We've had the past situations, Mr. Miller. We've had those. We have mentioned those on this very same show.
Over and over again.
And I'm going to ask you a question. We need to now know that some fire trucks and fire equipment is on the way. That would suffice even now. Are we going to wait for another 2, 3, 4 fires that we're going to talk about?
No, you made
that needs not happen.
You made such people get killed.
Well, there have been 2, 3, 4 fires today.
Exactly.
Let's talk about reports of fire on Marshall Road in that area, and just reports, non-confirmed at this point. That we can say fire trail.
Yeah, that's what they said today.
And
I saw one by Roca gas station.
And that perhaps homes were also had also been ignited. I'm not sure. What can you say, Garth?
Well, worse than that, with all of this smoke and fire, you're looking at inhalation, you look at people who have asthma and such situations. So you're affecting the health of the nation. The health of our country continues to be in question. The Bahamas government, whichever party it is, they need to now understand, the PSs, etc., that the Bahamian people are our greatest asset. We are our greatest resource. We need a government that's going to care for the Bahamian people. I sat in this very same space with Shanique Miller where we've had questions about the labor force and everything else. Shanique, I just must applaud you now because, we can't wait for situations to happen that happened to our good friend today. We need to give you your roses now. Mm-hmm. You have fought for the Bahamian people. You've informed the Bahamian people, but more importantly, you said to the government, listen, be kind to the Bahamian people and keep us informed. And so we've been doing that. I've been here with you on that. Mr. Miller, you're a person who has been in the community fighting for people, fighting for families, giving of yourself.
Why you can't get a fire engine?
So government, there are people who are doing their part, but we're just simply saying, can you now do your part? Please, we're asking you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you shouldn't beg for something that is a necessity.
Right now, we need to beg. These
are people who are being paid by the Bahamian People's Public Treasury. Do your job or get lost. Let somebody else do it if you're not capable of doing it, man.
Well, if you think
over and over again.
If you think the Bahamian people are not watching the show tonight, if you think the world is not watching the show tonight, I'm going to tell those people in authority, you better believe that they're watching and they're going to expect you to do the right thing.
Just get it done.
It needs to be done.
If you get a divert fund from tourism or any other entity for $1 million to get us 4 good trucks, go and do it.
It is needed.
Just do it, got to be done, that's all.
In the capital city, here in New Providence, where the bulk of the population reside, that here it is that there are 2 fire trucks, because the way that was described, it seems as though one, as the person said, one was there, this is what they saw. One was there.
Yeah, with about 10,000 gallons of water.
That part. Then eventually another came from the airport, which that's its own thing, because the airport, the international airport, has its own requirements of how many fire response teams must be there.
That's correct.
But the point about it is that one fire truck. So what? Perhaps the others are broken down and parts and no maintenance and all
Just
these
got a
other
strong
things?
man. Just
But
a
I
real
recall,
country, man.
I recall when I worked on Paradise Island, that Paradise Island had actually requested a truck. That truck used to be by out east, I think it was near the Elizabeth Estate Station,
Mhm.
and that was actually sent over to Paradise Island. So we've always been fighting for additional
But Paradise supposed to have
equipment.
their own
Yeah, but they're
truck.
supposed to, but you know how our country works.
You know
I'm
how
just
many
simply
homes
saying
over
that this is not a new problem, Shanique Miller. This is a problem that's been happening now for over a decade, and they need to get it right.
No, it's not. It's for years.
Over
Longer-
40 years,
longer
man.
than that.
Decade.
Yeah,
Four
longer-
decades.
Well, I was being safe. I said over a
And
decade
here
to give
it
them the
is.
benefit of the
I
doubt.
thought the issue of fire trucks was so much better here in New Providence. We see what's going on in the Family Islands.
Oh, yeah.
In Andres right now, there's a fire. Right now, as we speak, there's
One
a
right
fire
now.
in Andres.
Andres has a fire?
Right now.
But I
There's
guess
a fire right
I
now.
guess Defense Force officers are going to have to quickly go over there and tote bucket. You know the chain?
But the
you
water's
pass
right
it
there.
on-
Why
pass it
can't they
on.
get water? Why can't they get water from the ocean right there? Why?
We need help, Mr. Miller. We just simply need
No, we
help.
need help. We need people who are capable of doing their damn jobs. And if you're not capable, go home. That's what we need.
The people will send them home
Huh?
in this upcoming
If
election.
you're
I'm
not
sure of that.
capable, see why you're way out.
Yeah.
Listen, Leslie Miller, Garth Rosborough, thank you both very
Stop it,
much.
man.
It really is quite troubling, something that must be addressed. We are nearing now,
Fire trucks,
we now
I mean,
have
for
fire
Christ's sake,
season
man.
in the Bahamas, and so it's necessary to have the adequate emergency response.
Suppose one of the
so that
hotels
it
catch
can
fire,
address-
think of that.
Don't even say
British
it.
Colonial, suppose one of them catch fire.
Don't even say it.
What can happen?
Don't say it, Leslie.
Huh?
I agree. We don't even want to have that thought. I thank you, gentlemen, very, very much. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to go to Staniel Key, where the owner of the Rosewood Exuma project is standing there with a couple business owners, and they're going to talk about a community meeting that happened yesterday. Stay close. Yeah.
Sizzling summer savings start early at Grand Bahama Tiles with a 25% off store-wide sale. This Friday, May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd, catch the savings and upgrade your home decor early with sizzling summer deals. And don't miss our 35%, 40%, and 60% off summer clearance corner. It's a hot, sizzling summer store-wide sale at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920. Some restrictions apply.
What you doing there?
I'm getting ready for this heat, boy. But you want to see what in this box? The ghost pepper chicken sandwich, boy. Get an apple pie, fries, and ghost pepper chicken wing. You see it? You look at me? Four. Yeah, boy.
Try our new Ghost Pepper Chicken Box today. Available for a limited time only.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Legends of Rake Spray. Get ready for the biggest names in Bahamian music live on stage. KB, Funky D, Chino D, D-Mac, Sweet Emily, Simeon Alton, Veronica Bishop, and more like the Singing Bishop. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission 80, VIP 120. Tickets available at Missouri, Bungie Brand at the Beauty Shop, both locations. Skyboxes and Skypod. Call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Saturday, May 10th. Come by boat and play and experience the legends of Rake and Scrape. Brought to you by Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, ESC Distributors, Missouri, The Plug, The Beauty Shack, Bahama City, Bookie Brand, and Caribbean Wines and Spirits.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Brought to you by the Legends of Rake and Scrape, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're going to go to Staniel Key in this segment, where business owners and residents are applauding the efforts and, of course, the opportunity to gain more information about the Rosewood Exuma project that is just about to begin. Yesterday, CEO of the Rosewood Exuma, Felipe McLean, met with residents in a community meeting there, and they are joining me to talk about their takeaways and also the fact that many of them, I'm told, are on board and very happy for the opportunities that this project is going to bring for Staniel Key. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Andrew. It's good to have you, Andrew Miller, who is a business owner there in Staniel Key, and also we have joining him Shantice Roll. Hello to all of you and welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to see you as well, Felipe.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Let's just jump right in. I want to hear from Andrew Smith and Shantice Roll. Yesterday was a community meeting with Felipe, who is obviously spending the day with you all there again in Staniel Key. Tell me what business owners' response and reaction and takeaways were from hearing what the plans are with Rosewood and how it impacts Staniel Key.
Yeah, the meeting was pretty good. They had a lot of ins and out on it. For the most part, I think there's more people on board with the project. They already know that it's going to do good for the area and the community of both communities, Black Point, Staniel Key Farmers, even off abroad. But you know, everybody has their opinion on stuff, and at the end of the day, it's how it takes off.
Generally speaking, though, what is the response and the feedback of residents of Staniel Key?
I think there's more people on Staniel Key want to see the project go ahead. So I think they have I would say 3/4 or more of the island support.
Andrew, what kind of business do you have and how do you see your business growing as a result of the nearby Rosewood?
Well, I currently own a laundry and a wholesale liquor store, and about to bring on LP gas plant. And I'm in talks with these guys and see how can I accommodate them with their needs for gas, for grilling, cooking, etc., and so on.
So Felipe, let's talk about this community meeting that you had. Obviously, you're following and you're a man of your word. You said that you're going to meet with residents on the nearest keys there, which is Staniel Key, Farmers Key, and Black Point, in order to bring them along and have them be a part of what's happening at Rosewood Exuma. How do you feel about this meeting, this community meeting that happened yesterday, and what are your takeaways of what their interests are, how they are feeling about the project?
Great. Well, as you know, yesterday we were in Black Point giving a very nice donation for the kids of the school. Now every kid in Black Point has a bike, and that was a very emotional event that we had yesterday. And today we're here with the community of Staniel, also listening them out and understanding their needs. And I see a lot of excitement. Yesterday we had a meeting with the community. And I can tell you that the community of Staniel Key is on board. We had a great meeting.
Felipe, before you go to Staniel Key, you mentioned Black Point. Let's go back there because we are seeing some images of dozens of students, all with bikes. I mean, this is amazing. What was behind this thought to equip all of them with bikes?
Well, basically, while we were doing giving the kids park, we realized that a lot of the kids were walking to school. And I talked to the principal, and she explained me that the reason that they were walking to the school is that there was no bike racks, and some kids and a lot of the kids didn't have bikes. So we put a plan together, and now every single child in Black Point has a bike. The school has 5 bike racks. And I cannot tell you enough how happy they were yesterday, how excited they were on their bikes, and how something so little can make such a big impact on the community. So our project, as you know, and our vision for the Exuma Keys is long-term. We believe in that everything starts with the community first. That's the reason we've been doing what we have been doing with the clinic, with the school park, and now with the bikes. Now here we are in Staniel, and of course we're starting to see the needs that they have here, and we're being very close with the community. We intend to work with them.
Yes, I'll ask you about the needs of Staniel Key in a moment, but don't jump ahead. Let the host speak, right? Let the host speak, because you mentioned the fact that you've assisted with the clinic in Black Point, you've assisted with the school park in Black Point, now you have equipped the kids with bikes. What are their parents saying? I mean, this is good for exercise and being mobile and moving, really. It's wonderful to see what's happened and what these bikes now can represent for those students. But what was the response of their parents?
No, the parents are very, very happy. First, for safety. Second, some of the parents had to take the kids to school because it's long distances. So now the parents, I think that we remove a weight from their shoulders, and the kids. I've heard that this morning everybody was early to school because they were all going on their bikes. So that makes us happy, and I think that the community is really excited with it.
Really awesome. So, of course, yesterday you had a town meeting, right? A community meeting, rather, right where you are in Staniel Key. What are some of the issues they brought to your attention that you see that you can sort of help in the short term?
Well, the people here needs jobs. The people here you have a lot of businesses that are very excited with what we're doing. They see that a lot of growth is coming for their businesses, all the way from Andrew or other people here in Staniel. We have also D'Angelo here with us, and we were talking about so many different opportunities that they're going to have with us. So they're very excited with it. They know what means bringing a Rosewood brand to the Exuma, and the multiple opportunities that they have for growth. And that's the reason that we want to spend a lot of time here in Staniel Key, listen them out, and also explaining them, the accurate and real information about our project, so that we can collaborate and build this together. I emphasize to them always that this project is going to be an effort that from the community and from ourselves, because we cannot do it just by ourselves. So we're working very closely with the community. We are starting to understand what they're what exactly their concerns, and we are always close to the community, and we listen first to the community, and then with that base we can always build a project like the one we're doing.
Right. If you can please just let us see D'Angelo, because then I'd love to hear from him his thoughts about the proposed development, what Rosewood represents for Staniel Key, and how excited are you, D'Angelo, and others about the potential of what will be available?
We are very excited about the project. Right now, I am currently building a bar and restaurant on my own key as well, and I'm very excited, because the more the better, Without the people have more choices, more jobs, more pleasure, the more the better. I think Rosewood is doing a good job, and we are able and excited to bring them on board.
Yes, absolutely. Felipe mentioned that jobs were really sort of the primary thing that's needed. People need options and more opportunities. What can you say about that?
Yes, we do need a lot more jobs, because currently we don't have enough jobs now on the island. Everybody just focus on staying key or club, but we need more jobs, and I think they'll do a good job providing that for us.
Felipe, of course, you were here earlier this week, and you are feeling very confident, but besides meeting with residents from Farmers Key, Staniel Key, and Black Point, and assisting and making tangible just impacts and input in these communities, you're also quite excited about what they're excited about, and that is getting this resort started so that the spin-off opportunities, not just the direct employment, but also the opportunities that will be a mushroom effect, that can begin happening truly, and they can really benefit from it.
Absolutely. And as I told you on the other day, I already see how people are starting to grow their businesses. They see a bright future with us. we were talking about it with Andrew, and he's increasing the size of his laundry, his bar. Now you hear from D'Angelo about the restaurant. So they see what's coming. They're very excited with it, and this is something that is going to be a great benefit for the community. They know that the impact of our project is going to be it's going to be great, and they're looking forward for it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for speaking with me. We are looking forward to hearing much more. Perhaps when you go to Farmers Key, we can hear what the residents there have to say. But this is Felipe McLean, the CEO of Rosewood Exuma. He has been meeting, you see today and also yesterday, there was a community meeting in Staniel Key where he met with business owners, two of which are sitting next to him, and as well as residents to hear their views, to get them informed, to clarify perhaps some of the things they've been hearing, to assure them that there is no damage to the environment and the resort will be built according to the specifications of being in alignment with environmental standards and requirements, and of course how they benefit. Equally as important, how they benefit. Felipe, thank you for joining me here on Beyond the Headlines. Once again, you have any final comments?
Yes, we're going to continue coming here. As you know, I'm always every week here. Next time I'm going to be in Farmers Key. And as I said, this is a project that we're doing together with the community. The community is very excited with it. They see the future, and we're very, 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 very excited to be here with them, and look forward to come again next week and meet with the other communities as well.
It's good to hear from you. It's good to see you gentlemen as well from Staniel Key. Continue to take care and enjoy that beautiful scenery behind you. Thank you very much for joining me here on Beyond the Headlines. And I want to thank all of you. Absolutely. I want to thank all of you for hanging out all week long. It's certainly been a pleasure. It's been a week, right? I tell you, but it's good to have had you hang out with me. I look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a blessed weekend, everyone.